Well, hello everybody, and welcome back to this episode of G Bear's Off-Grid Ways, a homestead in the desert, November 22nd, 2019. And this Artec stuff here, just that styrofoam insulation that I was using, like to insulate um, the pump house area up there by the water tank. And I had a little piece of it left over, and I had something else I needed to insulate because we're going to be heading into a few freezing temperatures here. Going to be colder than normal according to the weather for the next week anyway. And yeah, they're talking about temps down around 30 degrees, so it's not a deep freeze, but it's still cold enough to freeze things. So I disconnected my garden hoses, and what I did with that styrofoam is I made a box to cover my water main, where my water main comes in, and my gas main and all of that stuff is there. So I made this box out of it, and I use silicone to glue it together, but I also put these big 20-penny galvanized nails in there to give it a little bit more strength. Then I had some hardened concrete from an old sack of concrete, and I just rested it up against there so the wind won't blow it away. So my hoses drain down, so I don't have to worry about that freezing. And I've got a cover over my inlet pipes, my propane and my water pipes there. So, hey, should work, right? All right. So, got that part done. And what else have I been doing? Well, let's see. So somebody once asked me what the G stands for in G Bear, and I said I don't know, but right now it's probably goof off, because that's what I was doing, was goofing off today, right? No, actually I caulked all the window frames. All the new frames are all caulked in. They're all sealed up against the glass too, and so that's gonna be great. I also repaired and refilled my hummingbird feeder, because I've seen a hummingbird coming around here, and all he has left is these couple of little flowers right here, which isn't much for him. So I wanted to get my hummingbird feeder back up, so I repaired the leak in it, and it's back up and filled. So he's got a place to come, and I put it dead center in the middle of that window so I can see it from the inside. All right, what's next? Well, I cleaned all of the solar panels today because they had all dirt and water spots on them from the little bit of sprinkles we had the other day, and had to clean that up. So the other thing I did was I came in here and I started playing around with the shelving for my pantry, and I think I've got it figured out. The only change I'm going to make here is, instead of these little 12-inch shelves, I'm going to come all the way out to the outer edge of that 2x3 back there. So I'll change these two shelves out. I've got more of this OSB in there, and I just put pine trim on the outer edge of it. So this one big shelf is the only one that's going to be a deep one on from this point up, and this is probably going to have a lot of my dry goods, canned goods, things like that will all be right here, because that's where I'll be easy to get at. Now, the stuff that goes all the way up on the top is going to be stuff I don't use much, probably like the paper plates. I always buy them when they're on sale so I can stock up on them, and then I don't have to use water to wash dishes. I can just wipe the plate out with a paper towel if it's not too bad, and use it a couple of times. So a pack of 86 like that lasts me a long time. I probably get 4 months easy out of a pack like that. So anyway, that's what I'm thinking of doing. And then, of course, again, I'll have the doors on here, and on the inside of the door, I'll have broom and mop here. And with those shelves coming out a little wider, I can still get the vacuum cleaner in and out without it being in the way, because only the bottom sticks out a little further than the rest. The rest is pretty narrow, so I just have to reach in there, grab it like this, and lean it right out of there. So those were some thoughts that I tossed around today, and I put my chili con carne on the shelf so I can check the height of the shelves that I need. And I have some quart jars that are about the same height as that tall one back there that will go up on these shelves when I can stuff and put them away. So when I make my spaghetti sauce too, I usually make a large batch of spaghetti sauce so I can can some of it and set it aside so I don't have to make a new batch every time I want spaghetti. I just pop one open. All right, so I brought the shelves all the way out on these to where the drywall is going to be, so I won't have stuff falling down behind them here. On that one down there, I actually put a 2x3 there, and I said, well, gee, what a waste of wood if I'm going to do that. I just notched the shelves like I did here to go around the 2x3s and take up that space. So there you go. And I've got enough to finish up all the shelving in here, so I'll get that all in there. And then, of course, I can hang some things on the wall there that don't have to go too far. I might even put some little narrow shelves here so I can put like spices and things like that on there, and not take up shelf space with them. So that was what I did today. And then, of course, I did come over here and start putting some of the staples on the wire to hold the wire in place. And then it started getting a little chilly, cooling down. Sun is starting to set. I said, well, time to go inside and pop a cold one and get ready to make my dinner. Dinner tonight is going to be thin cut pork chops with mushroom gravy and mashed potatoes. And for the vegetable on the side, I've got plenty of broccoli in the garden, so I decided to take some of that in here. Another thing I found out in the garden while I was out there earlier today was my watermelon. And it was still on the vine, and I said, well, I'm going to take that off of there because the weather's going to get down to freezing. I didn't want that to freeze and spoil, so I brought it in, and I'll cut it open and have that for lunch next couple of days. And then next week, the reason I was getting all of this sealed in and doing all the caulking and that stuff is for this coming week, they're predicting rain for Wednesday, Thursday, starting in the Tuesday night, Wednesday, Thursday, and then tapering off on Friday. And they've got it at 50% now for Wednesday, Thursday. But they had that last week too, and they changed that at the last minute. So we'll see what happens on that. And hopefully I'll get some rain, and we'll see how my rain catchment system works and how my first flush out there against the container works. With that I'm supposed to be able to get over 600 gallons of water in a 1-inch rain off the roof that I've got there. And I only have two 250-gallon totes there. So I might end up having to run a garden hose off of those and run it down to the garden house and fill the ones up down at the garden house to lower these down if we get more than 1 inch of rain. All right, that's all I have for today, everybody. Don't forget, G-Bear says, give me a thumbs up down there. Like my videos, please. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't, and don't forget to share this with friends and family. And for all the new subscribers recently, I don't think I forgot anybody, but if I did, welcome aboard. G-Bear signing off.